Hello everyone, peace and Christ to all. In this video we will answer this mad atheist. Some they say he isn't an atheist, he's agnostic. It doesn't matter for me. Agnostic is an atheist for me at the end because it's simply someone who's confused. Now let us see what this guy is talking about. In this video he's talking about that the Bible is not preserved, and the proof is the following.
This entire situation, which is that we cannot know whether the Gospels have been preserved accurately through the ages, and I'm going to try and illustrate.
Just wait. He just said we cannot know if the Bible was preserved. So then how you say I know it's not preserved? Like, hello, you just said we cannot know if the Bible is preserved, and then after that you will say to us that the Bible is not preserved. Are you stupid or are you drunk? Are you taking hashish? Are you taking drugs? What's wrong with you? You should say, like someone here have a PhD but he cannot make a statement. Your English is not my first language. But I'm not going to say we cannot know for sure if the Bible is preserved or not. And then you say the Bible isn't preserved. Let me play it again, so if somebody did not hear it very well, concentrate with me please, and with him. Let us see what he said.
Have been preserved accurately through the ages, and I'm going to try that we cannot know whether the Gospels have been preserved accurately through the ages, and I'm going to try and illustrate with you by explaining how it worked. Take the Gospel of Mark. Whenever Mark was written, say it was written in the year 65 or in the year 70, in the city of Rome, say, I don't know where it was made. Whoever wrote Mark put it in circulation, and somebody copied the Gospel of Mark. Then somebody copied that copy, and somebody copied the copy of the copy, then somebody copied the copy of the copy of the copy of the copy.
What's wrong with that? What do you want them to do? To stay all of them with the same copy? Like, you see that the way he is moving and the way he's angry and the way it's what is the bad logic about that? The copy of the copy of the copy of the copy. Christianity is spreading all over, and they want to deliver copies. So in order to give you a copy, I cannot give you mine, I have to give you a copy. At that time, copy had to be made by hand. So now what do you want to say? Listen and laugh.
Copy, and we don't have any of those copies.
Listen, wait. Copy of copy of copy of copy, but we don't have any of those copies. So how you know that they are wrong if you don't have any of those copies? Are you mad? You just said there's no copies exist, and later you will say they are wrong. Let us see how this will happen.
Everybody who copied the text made mistakes.
Just wait, just wait. Everyone who copied the text, the scriptures, he made mistakes. Let us say for the sake of argument this is true. So, mistakes of what? You see, when you say mistakes, you need to tell us what mistakes of what. Mistake of spelling, mistake of putting a comma, taking the comma off, mistake of what? Simply mistakes which doesn't really make any difference, because it is the same exact thing, but mistake of a spelling, mistake of pronunciation, and that for a very simple reason. Not all of them they are very well educated with the writing, or like right now if you ask anyone to make a letter in English, even if you have a bachelor degree, you will find he have a grammar mistakes or pronunciation mistake. It's very normal. So what is the problem here? The problem is going to exist if they are changing the meaning, if they are changing the words, if they are flipping things upside down. If it says Jesus was crucified and they are saying Jesus was not crucified. If Jesus said your faith did heal you, and the other verse saying your faith did not heal you. So if there are mistakes in spelling because it's a copy of the copy of the copy, that is not a mistake. That is not a mistake to make the Bible not preserved. That is a mistake of a human being in copying the copy of the copy. The mistake will be, or let us say the Bible will be not preserved if the copies, each one of them is different in the meaning, in the words, in what Jesus said in the story, contradiction, but not mistakes and errors in copying. That's very normal. However, As long as there's many copies and copies of copies of copies of copies of copies, as you said, there is no way for someone to change the Bible. Why? As an example, I have my book. Many of you have it already. If you have my book in your hand, how me myself can change the book? I cannot. Because you have it. I don't. You do have it. I don't have it. It's my book. I am the one who wrote every word there. It's not you. But yet I cannot change what you have in your hand. Let us say I made a second print for my book, and I rephrase a line there, and I said to myself, you know what, because English is not your first language, so you better say it this way. That will make it more clean, as I mean a clear word for everybody to understand. That will be a change, but it's not a change in the book as much as change in the way you present your idea. However, in the book of God, the change will be if you are changing the story, if you are contradicting the story, if you are coming with a story have nothing to do with the original story, etc. But missing in the pronunciation or a grammar, that is not really, who cares? This is a human error. This is not God error. This is happening because people, they are copying using their hand and their language skill. However, later he will say to you that the strange, the more you get earlier you go with the copies, the more mistakes you find. And the more far away from the earlier ages, the less mistakes you will find. And the mistakes he's talking about is about grammar and spelling and pronunciation. But it's not about contradiction. There's no real contradiction. So why now it's more accurate from even before? For a very simple reason. You see, what he's talking about is not talking even about a book. He's talking about manuscript, which means pages. Pages found here, pages found there, pages found in this house, pages found in that church. It's not the book he's talking about. He's comparing the copy of the book with manuscript found here and there. Now, the manuscript, they can be, let us say, very authentic, speaking of Christians' belief, or it can be even a manuscript of heresy, like, let us say, let's for the sake of argument, Jehovah's Witnesses was existing at the time of Jesus, and they have their own book, and then you find a pages, it says Bible of John chapter 1, verse number 1, but it's made by Jehovah's Witnesses. If you read it, we will find in the beginning it was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was a God. Or what they changed is a. They just added a. They don't even change the word. They added just a. That a will change the whole meaning. That will be a corruption. But not writing the word with one more letter more because of a mistake of pronunciation or a grammar mistake, or those things, they don't count to say the Bible is preserved or not. However, you will notice that the more Bible translated new ones is more accurate than the old one. Why? Because the new one, they have more manuscript to look at from the older one, which means to compare between the original language and the book we have today. Actually, I found a video. I found it very interesting to explain to you about what I'm talking about. You can go. This is the name of the video. You can watch it yourself. All right. I will play some of it. Now this is him talking there. So we will go to this part here and see what they are talking about.
Dr. Paul Meyer, professor of ancient history at Western Michigan University, disagrees. He claims that we now have a better idea of what the original manuscript said than ever before.
When it is just the opposite taking place. Despite the time that evolves here, we're getting a better and better reading of the original New Testament text than ever before. Why? King James Edition, 1611, based on 6 biblical texts. The Revised Version of 1870, 2,000 Greek texts. Today, scholars have this embarrassment of riches, whereby they have 5,700 manuscripts in whole or in part, against which textual critics, using very exacting rules, are able to get further and further back to the original readings.
So what he's saying is absolutely stupid and funny. And actually, what this brother here he said, it's very logical. The more we discover manuscript, the more the manuscript prove itself. The more the manuscript prove that this is the original and this is the truth, and the more we will have better even translation for the Bible from the original text. It's not the opposite. So when he say the more earlier, the more mistakes you find, he's talking about errors of manuscript as a writing, as a spelling, as a pronunciation, and that is very normal. That's very normal, because if I write now a chapter of the Bible by my hand, you will see how many mistakes I will do when I am writing. Or even somebody else is reading my writing, because my handwriting is not clear. He might copy my error, or let us say because he thought it says that, so he wrote whatever he saw. However, that will not be a problem for the Bible. Why? Because there is many copies, and if there is something wrong, people will say to him, this is not what it says. People will correct each other. Because remember, the Bible was not only just a book to hold, it is a book to preach. It is a book to teach. I don't memorize the Bible word by word, but I know the Bible word by word. If somebody now start reading me a story about Jesus, how he was crucified, I will tell him right away, you are lying, because the Bible doesn't say that, even though I am not memorizing word by word, because what he's saying is not what the story I learned about Jesus. If somebody says Jesus said hate your enemy, I will know that this is true, because Jesus said love your enemy. So there is no way for the manuscript to be destroyed, because it was in the heart of the believers everywhere. It was a knowledge to spread. It was a faith people they die for. This is how much they are attached to the word. So how you say to me that those who used to be thrown to the animals, and people they say to them, leave Jesus and you will survive, we will not kill you, and they are willing to die and to be fed for tigers and lions, you are telling me that those people did not preserve the Bible? That is the most stupid thing ever you can hear. Why? Because those people, they are paying their life to preserve the Bible. They are paying their life to preserve the truth. So mistakes and errors of a grammar, that is not a mistake. I can find you 1,000 mistakes in the Quran, then I will say those are a proof that Allah is not God. Why? Because the Muslims, they claim that the Quran, it is today written exactly as Allah He said, word by word, letter by letter, statement as it is. And then when we find a mistake, that will be a problem. But when you are talking about a copy, let us say now you ask me to make a copy of any translation of the Bible. I assure you, I will not make perfect copying, because simply I am a human being, I will make mistakes. However, someone read it, he's a believer like me, he will notice, he will say, you know what, this is here wrong. This is here wrong. This is like you hear the spelling is wrong, the grammar is wrong. Like in my book, in my case, sometimes people they told me, you know, we found this word is not really correct. Can you please fix it, the grammar, or let us say the pronunciation? So, Bible of God is preserved by copying a lot of copies, not only by having one original copy. And the more we go far away from Jesus, the more we discover old manuscript, and the more we understand, better understanding of Jesus' teaching and the Bible words. So I hope that is very clear. I will repeat this part here so you can see what he's talking about, proving that Mr. Part is really lying and misquoting.
Of the original New Testament text than ever before. Why? King James Edition, 1611, based on 6 biblical texts. The Revised Version of 1870, 2,000 Greek texts. Today, scholars have this embarrassment of riches whereby they have 5,700 manuscripts in whole or in part against which textual critics, using very exacting rules, are able to get further and further back to the original readings.
Thank you very much. God bless. I hope this video helped you to understand.